The air was sharp with autumn chill, the kind that cuts through your jacket and makes your breath catch. It was November 3rd, 2027, and the Ironwood Precision Range, a sleek fortress of glass and steel nestled in the rugged mountains of Colorado, gleamed under a pale, cloud-streaked sky. This was no ordinary shooting range. It was a cathedral for the global defense elite, where retired admirals in tailored coats, tech moguls with diamond-studded watches, and political heirs in bespoke suits gathered for the Ironwood Legacy Cup. A $60 million spectacle, bankrolled by giants like Northrop Grumman, Boeing, and Obsidian Dynamics. It was an invitation-only affair, its private livestream locked behind encrypted networks, accessible only to the world's military elite. Drones hummed above, their sensors sniffing for rogue signals, while armed guards patrolled the perimeter, their rifles glinting in the fading light. Every nod was a deal, every smile a verdict, and the air buzzed with untouchable arrogance. Into this lion's den stepped Mara, a 28-year-old wraith of a woman, her presence barely a ripple in the crowd's polished chaos. Her dark blonde hair hung loose, unstyled, framing a face free of makeup, her green eyes sharp with quiet defiance. She wore a faded black hoodie, its sleeves frayed, over patched jeans and scuffed, off-brand boots that screamed her poverty. At her hip hung a weathered Colt revolver, its grip worn smooth by decades, a relic in a world of $12,000 rifles. She carried no badge, no clearance, just a crumpled invitation she'd found in a dead drop 4 days earlier. Once a foster kid from rural Nevada, shuffled through homes with nothing but her instincts, Mara had vanished from the system at 19, her past a ghost even to herself. Now, she stood at the registration gate, her revolver a silent vow, her heart steady despite the sneers. The guards, ex-special forces in crisp Navy uniforms, blocked her path. "Lost, darling," one smirked, his badge reading Sullivan. "Kitchen's that way." His partner, a grizzled vet named Holt, eyed her Colt. "That thing's older than my dad. You here for the antique show?" The crowd, generals with silver hair, heiresses in sapphire necklaces, analysts clutching encrypted tablets turned, their laughter a razor against Mara's calm. A young tech heir in a velvet blazer leaned in, whispering, "She's a walking yard sale." The mockery spread like wildfire. Mara adjusted her hoodie, her green eyes unyielding, the weight of their scorn a heavy fog. Yet, the unseen audience watching the leaked stream felt their anger stir, their hearts aligning with Mara, their fury sparking against this cruel disdain. The humiliation escalated as Mara moved toward the firing line. A group of defense contractors near the range's sleek titanium bleachers turned their disdain into a spectacle. A Boeing exec named Victor Kane pointed at Mara's boots and sneered. Did she crawl out of a junkyard? His companions roared, their voices cutting through the drone's hum. A consultant named Elise Morrow snapped a photo of Mara's hoodie and posted it to a private defense forum, captioning it, "Ironwood or homeless shelter?" The post exploded, notifications piling up, each one a stab at Mara's dignity. A junior contractor shouted, "Mara, did you knit that hoodie from a tarp?" The bleachers chuckled, the taunt a lash against her poise. Mara gripped her revolver, her silence a shield, but the venom was a suffocating storm. The audience's rage surged, their hearts breaking at this orchestrated cruelty. Inside the range, the scorn grew vicious. A group of sponsored sharpshooters near the digital scoreboard spun their contempt into a public crucifixion. One, a former ranger named Derek Voss, posted a photo of Mara's Colt, captioning it, "Pawn shop reject at a world-class range." His teammates roared, their $15,000 rifles gleaming like trophies. Another, a sniper named Lila Crane, leaned in, her voice sharp. "That relic belongs in a glass case, not a competition." A young heiress in a silk scarf called out, "Mara, did you dig that gun out of a landfill?" The crowd laughed, the taunt a whip against her calm. Mara stood by the firing lane, her green eyes steady, but the sharpshooter's scorn was a crushing tide. The audience's anger flared, their fury a fire against this arrogance. The organizers, a trio of Obsidian Dynamics executives in tailored suits, stood by the judge's platform, their platinum cufflinks catching the light. One, a VP named Roland Pierce, smirked into the mic. "One shot's fine, Miss Vale, But this range is for those with real money. The crowd erupted in applause, the sound a dagger against Mara's poise. His colleague, a strategist named Cassandra Holt, whispered to an heiress, "She's here for a sob story, not a score." The hall laughed, their voices ablaze against Mara's pride. Mara adjusted her revolver, her faint smile a fortress, but the organizer's cruelty was relentless. The audience's rage surged, their hearts pounding at this calculated shaming. Mara stepped to the firing line, her boots silent on the polished concrete, her Colt gleaming under the halogen lights. The judges, a panel of ex-admirals and defense CEOs, smirked. One muttered, "Bringing that fossil to Ironwood is like wearing sneakers to a state dinner." The crowd roared, cameras zooming in, the live stream buzzing with mockery. Mara loaded her revolver, her hands steady as granite, and whispered, "I didn't come to be seen. I came to shoot." The audience's hearts thundered, their fury a hurricane against the betrayal. Her first shot cracked through the range. A 10.0 flashed on the digital board. The crowd laughed, their scorn a tidal wave. Derek Voss smirked, "Beginner's luck." "She'll choke." Cassandra Holt sipped her wine, muttering, "A fluke. That relic can't do it again." A judge chuckled. "She probably closed her eyes." The commentator, Lila Crane, snorted, "One hit doesn't make her a shooter." But Mara's second shot landed another 10.0. The laughter faltered, replaced by murmurs of disbelief. Derek's smirk vanished, his brow furrowing. "No way. That's impossible." Cassandra's glass trembled, her voice sharp. "She's cheating. Has to be." The crowd's arrogance wavered, their eyes narrowing as Mara stood unmoved, her revolver steady. The third shot hit 10.0. The board's glow seared the range. Murmurs grew louder, the crowd's confidence cracking. Lila Crane's commentary stuttered. "This shouldn't happen without optics." A weapons engineer, Dr. Felix Morrow, gripped his tablet, his face pale. "No stabilization, no scope." "How?" The fourth shot landed another 10.0. Gasps replaced murmurs, the crowd's arrogance crumbling. Derek's hands shook, his voice low. "She's not human." Roland Pierce slammed his fist, barking, "Someone's tampered with the range." The fifth shot hit 10.0. Silence fell, the crowd frozen. Derek's rifle clattered to the ground, his eyes wide. "She's out shooting me." With that, the sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth shots landed each a perfect 10.0. The board became a blazing crown, the crowd's fear turning to awe. Their arrogance was dust. Cassandra's wine spilled, her voice a whimper. "She's humiliating us." Roland's phone buzzed with panicked messages, his empire trembling. The live stream crashed, the network overwhelmed. Mara's revolver, once a relic, was now a scepter. The 10th shot landed 10.0. The terminals flashed red, new world record, 100.0. Shooter ID, unknown. The judges' faces were ashen, their pens stilled. The crowd didn't cheer, they stared, their champagne forgotten, their arrogance shattered. A black helicopter with no markings roared overhead, landing on the range's private helipad, its blades slicing the air. General Nathaniel Holt, a 54-year-old NATO commander, stepped out, his face carved from stone, his uniform heavy with medals. His voice boomed, a thunderclap. "She is Phantom Y9, final-gen bioweapon sharpshooter, classified under Shadow Protocol. The only operative to hit a moving target from 4.5 kilometers in a sandstorm through a cracked scope. And she is my wife." The range fell silent, jaws dropping, rifles limp. Nathaniel walked to Mara, taking her hand, his blue eyes fierce with pride and fury. He faced Derek Voss, his voice ablaze. "You posted my wife's photo to mock her, but your contracts are hers to burn." Security flanked him, presenting a tablet showing Derek's sponsorships collapsing in real time. Derek's face paled, his career a mirage. Nathaniel turned to the crowd. "Every person who laughed at my wife today will never touch a military system under my command." "That's an order." Security stepped forward, their black suits a silent vow. Roland Pierce's cufflinks dulled, his empire crumbling. The live stream leaked to the dark web, captioned, "She aimed. She fired. She erased their arrogance in 10 shots." Derek, Cassandra, Roland, and their allies faced blacklists, their names barred from every defense contract worldwide. Mara placed her revolver on the podium, its barrel cold, and walked away, her boots silent. The organizers, their faces gray, revoked all awards, stammering, "The score's incompatible with our system." But a guard, shaken by her shots, had already leaked the stream. Within hours, it spread across the global defense underground, Mara's legend born. The range's steel doors bore a new mark by dawn, carved with a blade's precision. "Thanks for laughing. Your scorn was the easiest target." What moment hit you hardest, Mara's silent defiance or Nathaniel's devastating reveal? Should the elite face harsher consequences for their cruelty, or was their humiliation enough? Drop your thoughts below, like if Mara's story lit a fire in you, and subscribe for more epic tales of underdogs shattering the odds.